Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Last night or early this morning, when it was before the sunrise, I was lying in bed, couldn't sleep, and my mind was going a million miles a minute with stories that I thought, how could I have forgotten about these kind of stories? Um, I was a flight attendant for, I won't say which airlines, but they're in Atlanta. No. Oh, yeah, they are. I have a zillion stories, and I had so many stories that when I um, worked about 10 years for them, and a couple of years ago took an early retirement with the COVID thing. But anyways, when I was heavy flying all over the world, there was just so many stories that I remember sitting on airplanes during downtime with screenplays or movie stories, just all kinds of stories that I could have fill volumes with on that job. And so I might, over the upcoming months, slowly chip away at those stories. And oh my heavens, it was an amazing job that way. Just so many life experiences. And flew to so many different countries and cities. And anyway, so I don't know if this story is going to be more humorous than. I'll try not to make it too political or too a commentary on the current state of affairs where everybody's a racist. A sunset is racist. Mathematics is racist. Everything is racist these days. So, of course, I don't believe that, but that's just how people are thinking these days, and it just kind of disturbs me. But anyways, so I hope this story tends to dispel those types of notions. But anyway, so my working title for this story, and I may tweak it a little bit, but it's going to be Newsflash, Taking Note of Behavior of Different Cultures, Races, and Communities is Not Being a Racist. Literally, every person in the world forms opinions over their interactions with different peoples, right? And especially flight attendants, with flight attendants, it gets kind of interesting because within the United States, for example, going into a specific city, there tends to be a certain vibe with flying into this city or that city, or going into this city, people tend to be this way or that way. Going to this country, people tend to be this way or that way, and it's all based on experience. And flight attendants are constantly sharing those kind of stories. But when I was, where should I start? Well, okay, let's start with flying to Ireland. I flew to Ireland a couple of times, and I found the people very friendly, very polite, and very willing to engage in conversation. People of Ireland. And I have a son-in-law who has spent some time over there, and he said, "Oh yeah, that's the way they are." So this is not a racist comment. This is culturally they just tend to be that way, and it's a wonderful thing. Yes, they'll go through the liquor quite a bit. Your liquor, in a 7-hour flight over to Ireland, you'll probably use most of the liquor on board. But very nice people, friendly people. So that was on the. Well, there's a lot of positive experiences, but that was one. this is one I never had the opportunity of flying there, but from flight attendants, it was it was one of the longest flights and also one of the most notorious worker flights. And oh, that's a worker. In other words, they keep you hopping, and that was going into Tel Aviv. Um, Nothing against Jews, or what, they're wonderful people. I love them. They're funny and all these things, but there just happened to be a certain, I don't know if it's the anywhere from example, for example, the Orthodox, uh, very Orthodox rabbis or just the general public would at certain times of the day would gather in the back gallery to pray, and it reminded me of I think it was a King of Queens episode when Arthur, the father-in-law, was in the back of the airplane praying with a bunch of Orthodox Jews. I never had the opportunity of going there, so I can't say. But that was the reputation they had. It was nothing against. It's just culturally that's the way they were. But I did have. Oh, let me just a short story. One experience with a Jewish family on a certain flight, and the mother, I think maybe we'd taken off, or maybe we hadn't taken off yet, but this lady comes up to walks up, a young mother walks up. I got it. I need a knife. I need a knife. Have you got a knife? I guess she had this handbag or I don't know if it was a Louis Vuitton, but it's probably a pretty nice bag. There was somebody with an infant sitting right next to her, and the baby threw up, got some throw up on the strap, and it was frantic, man. She was frantic. I need a knife. I go, well, boy, we don't have knives on airplanes anymore except a plastic knife. I can get you a plastic knife. Give me a plastic knife. And I gave her a plastic knife. She was hacking away at the strap of this handbag, and eventually made it. I mean, it took her a while, like she was going to catch some deadly disease or something. Oh, it was I thought it was, hilarious, but it's like, wow, yeah, maybe it was. I can't say that was a typical Jewish response, but it's a data point. You over the years we interact with different people, and that's a data point. That's a data. This is how. So that was one kind of a humorous experience. Also, I went to Ghana in Africa a few times, maybe two times, and leaving out of New York, and the flight attendants. I just happened to get on this route for just an oddball. Somebody called in sick or something, so I was on there with other flight attendants who regularly fly this route. But it was so funny because it's like 5 minutes before departure, and half the play was up and talking and walking around, visiting their neighbors and family, and I go, what's going on? It was just unlike any other flight you've been on. And one of the flight attendants, it's like herding cats. So a data point. They're very friendly and happy, the people going to Ghana. And then we had I think it was a 5-day trip in total. So we go to Ghana, spend a couple days there, and then in the midstream we'd take a flight to I think it was Nigeria. One day, just a quick round trip to Nigeria and back. And oh my gosh, it was a totally different vibe, a totally different crowd. People were dressed to the nines, had some pride, some attitude, like we're we're not like those Ghanaians. I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but there was just a whole different vibe from, and this is not talking about any one individual, but just as a group, as a whole, a data point, you know? So it was a funny experience. Let's see, even within the United States, let's see, is there any countries I need to hit? Okay, a quick one from, before I go to the United cities in the United States, Japan. Oh my gosh, my story's going to kind of go along here. I hope it's interesting enough that you'd watch this. But I can't remember if it was going to or from Japan, but we had a bunch of students in the back of the plane. And, oh my gosh, I was doing on the drink cart, going back and one of these students ordered Diet Coke. So I cracked the Diet Coke, get the ice, and it slipped out of my hand. And it, boom, an open Diet Coke hitting the ground at full speed. It was a geyser. And this this poor student, he was getting a shower of Diet Coke, and I felt so terrible. I am so sorry. And I speak Japanese, so, I was speaking to him in Japanese. And he was just calm, he was, just calm and I can't remember if he was laughing, but took it all in stride, and I felt so. Sorry, it's allergy season here in Utah. I'm coughing. But anyway, so then it came time for the next drink service, and I just felt so bad. I go back to the same guy. I said, what drink would you like? And I can't remember if it was another Diet Coke or whatever. I said, well, this time, would you like it over your head, or would you like to drink it? But, oh my heavens. But he was just, took it in all in stride. And that was, sorry, these gross generalities, but a data point, of the types of people. But then in business class, the Japanese businessmen, that's a different, they don't want to joke around. They don't want you joking around. It's all business. So, but a wholly different vibe. And then, anyway, so it's just a data point. Not there's always exceptions to the rule, but generally people tend to behave in similar ways. What's another one? Not so much a race thing, but called cities. Certain cities have certain vibes, okay? Going to San Jose, I guess it's a lot of high-tech people, a lot of young professionals, and you'll go through the Diet Coke. It seemed like 94, well, 80% of the people were drinking Diet Coke. No, it's just a Diet Coke city. It's like, wow, isn't that interesting how a whole city tends to have similar tastes? And going back and forth to Japan, orange juice. I don't know what it is. Orange juice. Oh, and ginger ale. Orange juice and ginger ale. And I don't know why, but it's like 50% of it. You run out of these drinks so quickly, and I don't know what it is. Maybe someone, I was talking to my wife about this, who's Japanese. She said, or my daughter, who's also a flight attendant. She said, well, maybe it's because the Japanese hear that ginger ale is a good drink to drink to combat air sickness. If someone's feeling queasy or whatever on the airplane, give them a ginger ale all the time. And I guess, I don't think you hear these stories and they're, this is the only time, in Japan, I don't think I ever, or rarely ever saw people drink ginger ale. But on an airplane, for some reason, everybody's drinking ginger ale or orange juice. Going into Russia, well, tomato juice and vodka. Oh, what else in here? Anyway, so this is getting kind of long, so I don't want to keep it too long, but this isn't racism. This is just being observant and seeing how general populations generally tend to behave, and it's almost like these days you can't even have an opinion on this. Everybody does, but no one no one feels like they're safe to say what their opinion is. It's like opinions on general groups of swaths of the society. Boy, oh no, that's racist. It's not racist. Get over yourself. Yeah. Take a chill pill and just relax. Notice how people behave, and make some data points. It's it's a big world out there, and it's interesting. Makes it interesting that different people behave different ways, and so yes. So I guess that's my purpose of sharing this story, is that let's relax on the racism. Not everything is racist, but certain crowds tend to behave similarly. So, all right, well, that's enough for today. Thank you for listening.